History is not just a story of the past. It is the blueprint of our present. Science is not just a collection of facts. It is the code that governs our reality. From the genius of ancient engineering to the frontiers of modern discovery, we seek out the stories that connect them all. We don't just ask how, we ask why. This isn't just history. It isn't just science. This is Saruko. It is the most iconic ruin on Earth. A skeletal monument to the brutal glory of the Roman Empire. When we picture the Colosseum, we picture the roar of the crowd, the clash of gladiators, the spectacle of the games. But the story of what happened inside these walls has long overshadowed the even more incredible story of the walls themselves. This is not a story about the games. This is a story about how you build an icon, how you erase the legacy of a tyrant, and how you forge an empire's heart from stone, concrete, and conquest. Our story begins not with a blueprint, but with a disaster. In 64 AD, the Great Fire of Rome consumed the city for 6 days, leaving much of it a smoldering ruin. From these ashes, the controversial Emperor Nero saw not a tragedy, but an opportunity. On the cleared land, he built his infamous Domus Aurea, or Golden House, a sprawling private palace of unprecedented luxury. It was a symbol of decadence, complete with gilded walls, rotating dining rooms, and at its heart, colossal man-made lake, right in the valley between the hills of Rome. For the Roman people, who had lost their homes, this private paradise built on their misery was the ultimate insult. Nero's reign ended in self-deletion, plunging Rome into a bloody year of civil war. A total of 4 different emperors rose and fell in quick succession during the single year of 69 AD. The empire was on the brink of collapse. Out of this chaos emerged a new leader, Vespasian. A pragmatic, battle-hardened general, not a pampered aristocrat. He knew he had to stabilize Rome, but more importantly, he had to win the loyalty of its people and erase the memory of the hated Nero. His eyes fell on Nero's private lake. And there, he hatched a plan of pure political genius. Vespasian's vision was simple, yet profound. He would drain the tyrant's lake, and in its place, he would build the largest amphitheater the world had ever seen. A gift to the people of Rome. He would take Nero's private indulgence and transform it into a stage for public spectacle. The message was clear, the land was being returned to the people. But a vision of this scale required 2 things, a vast amount of money, and a solution to an impossible engineering problem. The money came from conquest. In 70 AD, Vespasian's son, Titus, crushed a revolt in Judea and sacked the city of Jerusalem. The spoils from the Second Temple, gold, treasure, and artifacts, were paraded through Rome and used to fund the Colosseum's construction. With the treasury full, the engineers faced their first colossal challenge. The site was a marsh, the soft, waterlogged ground of a former lake. Building a 6-acre stone structure, weighing over 500,000 tons, on this unstable soil was a recipe for collapse. Their solution was monumental. First, they built a complex series of drains to channel the water away. Then, they excavated the entire site, digging down over 30 feet through the mud and silt until they hit solid bedrock. Into this massive trench, they poured a donut-shaped foundation of Roman concrete, 40 feet thick. It was this foundation that would anchor the Colosseum for millennia. Next, the challenge of scale. How to build so high, so fast? The answer was the Roman arch, repeated over and over. This design distributed the immense weight evenly and allowed for prefabrication. The Romans used over 100,000 cubic meters of travertine stone for the main pillars, all cut to standardized sizes at the quarry in Tivoli, 20 miles away. To lift these multi-ton stone blocks hundreds of feet into the air, the Romans used massive timber cranes called polisbastons. These cranes were powered by enormous tread wheels, where dozens of slaves would walk endlessly, hoisting the stones into place. It was a marvel of logistics and raw manpower. But perhaps the most brilliant piece of engineering was designed for the people. How do you move 50,000 spectators in and out of a stadium efficiently? The architects designed a system of 80 arched ground floor entrances, known as the vomitoria. These led into a series of corridors and staircases that could allow the entire, massive crowd to fill the stadium in just 15 minutes, and empty it even faster. It was a masterpiece of crowd control that modern stadium designers still admire today. The construction was a massive undertaking, carried out by a workforce of Roman engineers, artisans, and tens of thousands of slaves, many of whom were brought to Rome as prisoners from the Jewish-Roman War. Emperor Vespasian would not live to see his masterpiece completed. He died in 79 AD, and the honor of inaugurating the amphitheater fell to his son, Titus, the next year. The opening games were the most spectacular ever seen, lasting for 100 days and nights. Historical accounts tell of thousands of wild animals being slain and epic gladiatorial battles. For these opening games, the arena floor could even be flooded with water from a nearby aqueduct to stage spectacular mock naval battles, or naumachia, complete with warships. This was possible because the Colosseum's most famous feature had not yet been built. It was Titus's brother, Domitian, who later completed the structure by adding the Hypogeum, the incredible two-story network of tunnels, elevators, and holding pens beneath the arena. This secret underground world was the Colosseum's engine room, allowing animals and gladiators to be lifted into the heart of the action through trapdoors, as if by magic. Above it all, a massive retractable awning called the velarium could be stretched over the seating area to provide shade for the crowd, deployed by a special detachment of Roman sailors. The Colosseum was more than just an arena. It was a profound statement. It was an engineering marvel built on a tyrant's private lake, paid for by the spoils of war, and gifted to the people of Rome. A symbol of the Flavian dynasty's power, wealth, and generosity. For nearly 400 years, it was the heart of the Roman world. And even today, as a fractured ruin, it remains the most enduring symbol of an empire's ambition, and a testament to the engineers who could build for eternity. Thank you so much for watching this very brief history of the construction of the Colosseum. It is a place that I have always wanted to visit. Perhaps, one day. This is my very first public video for YouTube, so I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did, please like and subscribe. Constructive criticism and other commentary is also always welcome. Until next time, farewell.